Hi, this is Pavitra, naturopathic physician and a certified nutritionist. Welcome to my channel Health Support 360. Today we are going to discuss about frequently asked questions about millets in general, and in specific we are going to talk a lot about bajra, pearl millet, also called as kambu in Tamil. So the first question is, do we have to soak millets and how do we cook it? Yes, in specific, the pearl millet or the bajra, we have to soak it for at least 8 to 10 hours, preferably overnight. So first we need to clean the grain, say suppose 2 to 3 times until the water becomes clear. We need to rinse the water and discard it, and then we have to soak it with pure drinking water. Remember, we are going to use this water that we are using for soaking in our cooking. What happens during soaking? So when we rinse the millet and while it's soaking in the water, the fermentation process starts happening. So we have some anti-nutrients in the outer coating of any grains, maybe millets or even rice. So those are anti-nutrients and it causes some digestive upset while we are eating it, and it's difficult to digest. While soaking it and fermenting it enhances the process of digestion, leaving us ease. Now the next question is, how do we cook these millets and in specific bajra? So the first process was rinsing and soaking, and next is we have to drain the water from this millets, and we can just spread it in the shade inside the house and then let it sit for a couple of hours so that all the water is evaporated. Once it's little dry, then you put it in the mixer jar and blend it into granules. And once the granules is ready, you can make n number of dishes with it. You could use it for making kambu soru, that is the traditional name we use in southern part of India. You could eat that with sambar, rasam, yogurt. You could use this granules, same granules, to make bisibele bath or different kinds of khichdi, pongal. Creativity is endless. Now, if you want to store this grain after the blending for long time, what I would suggest is after rinsing and the soaking step, you can drain the water and dry this millet outdoors under sun or even shade, even in shade. And then if you have access to milling process, you can take it to the mill and make it into granules, fine powder, or a different variety and consistency you want, and store it for a long time. This stays good even for 2 to 6 months. So what are the traditional recipes you could make using kambu, bajra, also called as pearl millet? So traditionally in southern part, especially in Tamil Nadu, we used to make kambanzo choru and also kambankur. Kambankur is a natural probiotic drink that we used to drink during summers. In north, people make fulkas and rotis using bajra, and you could also do idli and dosa batter with bajra, and people use it in place of wheat. You could add the bajra flour, and depending upon the consistency and texture the powder is, you could even make idiyappam, puttu, and different recipes. Can we mix millets? That is a very frequently asked question. I would suggest, if you're totally new to eating this kind of food, millet, you have never eaten any millet in your whole life, just start with one single millet in very small quantity and then see how your body can digest and metabolize it. Say suppose, do you have any gastric issues? Do you have gas formation or belching after eating a meal with millets, or how's your sleep quality, and are you constipated, do you have loose stools? So check all those things and listen to your body. How do you feel? Once you think you have no issues eating millets and you have no trouble in digestion, then slowly you can increase the quantity you are taking. And once you know that you have no issues with this millet, then start exploring another millet. Generally not advised to mix 2 or 3 varieties of millets at a time, but it's okay to mix millet with rice, either rice or wheat. Here we have to keep in mind that if you are gluten sensitive and you have issues related to that, you should skip wheat, but rice is okay. So it all depends upon your health goal. If you're trying to address any of your chronic diseases like diabetes or hypertension, then I would say just stick with the millet. But if you are trying to introduce these foods to your kids, and if you want to eat as a whole family and you don't want them to resist these kind of new recipes, it's okay to add little rice with it. But once the whole family gets used to the taste of millets, and once you understand the efficacy and the benefits and the value of millets, then you will be self-motivated to eat the millets in the traditional way and cook it in a traditional way. After all, food and eating experience should bring in joy and pleasure. It shouldn't be burdensome. So the next question is, can we pressure cook these millets? So the consistency, texture wise and taste wise, cooking in an open pot is far better than cooking in a pressure cooker. But I wouldn't fix any hard and fast rules. So as an individual, if you're not comfortable cooking in an open pot, it's okay to pressure cook. But taste wise and texture wise, it is so far better to cook it in an open pot. When you consider the time duration from closing the cooker to the opening of the cooker after releasing the gas, the pressure in the pressure cooker, it is going to be the same duration, I believe. So I would say it's okay to pressure cook in the initial days if this suits your hectic schedule. The next question is, in what seasons can we eat this pearl millet or kambu? Traditionally, in southern part of India, the recipes we make using this kambu is kambanchoru or kambankur. Specifically, kambankur is a probiotic rich drink. We drink this during hot summer days. So this probiotic drink is rich in B vitamins. It keeps us hydrated in these hot summer days and reduces the risk of heat stroke. But the people living in north, they make this bajra roti in winters. They eat it in winters. They just make this roti in the fire stove. The fatty acids in this kambu or this pearl millet helps them insulated and keeps them warm during this winter months. I believe in tradition. The recipes from our ancestors are time tested and passed on from generations to generations. Their wisdom should be incorporated and embraced. These recipes from our grandparents, ancestors are specifically passed on to us depending upon where we live, in what climatic and geographical conditions we live, what suits us and what crop is available to us. So this is the sustainable food and diet. Another important reason why we are moving away from rice and introducing millets in our diet is rice is mostly hybridized and polished. But we have to remember that the millets available in the market is also hybridized and polished. When you're purchasing all these millets, you have to keep in mind that you're looking for unpolished varieties and unhybridized varieties. The hybridized variety of this kumbu or pearl millet is grayish or greenish in color, and it's little bigger. But the unhybridized variety is little dark green in color, and the grains are very small. So if you are buying millets in a supermarket and outside the package, if you see if it's written as pearled variety, it means that the grain is polished. Bajra is also called as a pearl millet, but the millets, if it's said it's a pearled variety, it just means that this grain is polished. Who can eat millets? In specific, the bajra or the kumbu. Kumbu is rich in fiber, so people having constipation or piles or hemorrhoids can include bajra in their diet. And people who are looking to reduce their weight and looking to turn trim and fit can include bajra in diet. And people suffering from chronic diseases like diabetes mellitus, hypertension, and increase in their total cholesterol levels, all these cases bajra is very helpful since it's rich in fiber. This pearl millet or kumbu is gluten-free. So people who are sensitive to gluten and who are gluten intolerant can include this bajra in their diet. Complex nutrient dense food, so ladies during their pregnancy period can take it. It will help in fetal growth and development, and even during lactation period it helps in milk secretion. It is rich in calcium, so helps in improving your bone mineral density. So women around the menopausal age can take it. And bajra is rich in iron and zinc. So people suffering from anemia can also include bajra in their diets. When you're incorporating anything new to your diet, always listen to your body and proceed accordingly. I'll meet you soon in our kitchen with an interesting recipe using bajra. If you're watching this video for the first time, like, share and subscribe our channel Health Support 360. If you have any questions for me, leave in the comment section below. Thank you.